We had some technical problems, but now we're alive, and you are most welcome. First, to share, to like, to see our live, and of course, comment if you're here. And let's say all good evening to Julia, or actually good morning in your place.
Good morning for me. Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Chen. I'm excited to be here.
Of course. So for those of you that don't know you yet or don't know Gorgias yet, maybe we'll start by speaking a bit about Gorgias. But the moment before, please all go into חנויות Shopify חוות דעת מקצועית, which is our Facebook community, and click share just so more people would be able to see us, whether it's your Facebook pages, Facebook communities, your own profile, and much, much more. And what I would like to do now, of course, is to ask Julia a bit about yourself, about Gorgias, for those of you that don't know you yet.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm excited to get to know you guys better and to just keep this interactive, but a little bit of background on myself. So I started at Gorgias around a month ago. And prior to that, I was at Yotpo, which specializes in
you were at Yotpo as well? We both work in the same company?
I saw that on your LinkedIn, Chen, and realized we forgot to chat about it last time.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah, so I worked at Yotpo for a while, and then I was at BounceX, which specializes in email marketing. So I've been in the e-commerce space for a little bit now, and was really drawn to Gorgias because just, my experience with Shopify, I could really see that it was helping merchants grow and think about, from a strategy perspective, how do you handle customer support? And really almost the idea of like working smarter, not harder. So whether that's the integrations we focus on, or how we're able to automate some of the processes, just making things easier from a customer support standpoint for, whether you're the only person on your team or you have a larger team with a couple agents. So that's a little bit about myself. I'm on our partnerships team at Gorgias. So primarily I'm working with partners like Chen and just, learning about his business, how we can work together, and just thinking about, different ways that, we can provide value for merchants and get to know you guys and just explain a little bit more about what we do and how we could potentially help.
So actually, we spoke about Gorgias, and for those that don't know Gorgias as a company, we started to write it in the post itself, in which we are both in a live stream and tagged in. But a bit of a background, Gorgias is one of the, I say, most scaling, most growing startups in the e-commerce world, where it comes to customer service, automations, integrations, and machine learning in terms of giving better solution and increase your order value. So please tell us a bit about Gorgias as a company. What is your solution, and how can you help our merchants?
Yeah, definitely. So in terms of Gorgias as a company, we have evolved quite a bit throughout the past years. So we started in around 2015. And primarily what we started as was actually an email Chrome extension to help write better emails. So again, like let's say you have an email where you're sending it out time after time, being able to help automate that process. And our founders actually realized that the majority of people they were speaking to were merchants and people who were focusing on customer support and service. And so a couple years ago, we shifted and we're working primarily on Shopify to, again, better help with customer support there. We have continued to evolve. So, we started with Shopify. We work now with Shopify, Magento, and BigCommerce, but we are still exclusively
not WooCommerce yet, because there was about it.
BigCommerce, not WooCommerce.
Yeah, I know. By the way, we'll mention that in the future as well, because one of our community members just mentioned that, and I said, okay, I think that it's on the short run when speaking about e-commerce platforms, but I guess that you'll speak about it later as well. And maybe we can just jump into the presentation that you did for us and show it, show like the solution more visually, all of the automations, and how it can increase sales. So let's share screen.
Definitely.
Cool.
And again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to write in the chat, and Chen can help out with moderating any questions.
Of course. And by the way, just to mention, you can also write down in Hebrew. אתם יכולים לכתוב שאלות בעברית. So we'll translate it and ask Julie. So don't be afraid. Feel free. And Julie, what I'll do now is just hide myself and put you in a bigger screen. So one sec. Please start.
Okay, great. So yeah, today I really want to focus on, again, just a little introduction into Gorgias, but also just the significance of customer service in general. So whether it's Gorgias or another tool, just understanding really the benefit of using a customer support tool and how that's going to help with automations and integrations. So yeah, just background on me, we've kind of gone over, but I'm the partner manager. This is my email. So if you have any questions or after this presentation want to learn more, feel free to email me and we can definitely set something up and go from there. So yeah, as I kind of had mentioned and was getting at, we started in 2015 as a Chrome extension. In the last year, we went from around 2,000 e-commerce clients to 5,000 e-commerce clients, and we recently raised our Series B. So things are really hyper growth at Gorgias. It's been a super exciting time to be a part of the organization. In terms of automations and integrations, so I'm sure that this is no surprise that SMS has been a really hot channel we've seen for our different merchants and clients at Gorgias. And what we found is exactly here, 28% of that conversion for pre-sale chats, typically when SMS is responded to in less than 10 minutes. If you think about it, like we're always on our phones nowadays, and shopping really has shifted from simply being on a desktop to desktop and mobile. I also think with e-commerce, the pandemic really sped up almost the timeline of the direction e-commerce was going, because given that there are store closures and people have really adapted to shop exclusively online, you have to also shift your strategy with that. And so we've seen that SMS is a great channel in integration, and that a really important part of that is being able to respond quickly if a customer has a question about sizing or promo or et cetera. So just really being aware of like, what are the different channels your customers are on and how can we communicate with them best? In terms of some of the impact on sales, so I would say some of the most important things that we're looking at from a customer support side would be the first response time and the resolution time. Again, these are things that are made a lot easier with Gorgias because you're able to look at all of your tickets, whether it's social, email, chat, SMS, within one platform, as well as having all of the Shopify data there. And so that's another thing that I speak to brands about a lot is the time management aspect, like having to go, back into Shopify, find their order number, copy and paste it, look at what address they had. There's a lot of different moving parts. So being able to have that unified view where you can respond using a templated response that actually has some of that information there for you. So, and also just, keeping in line with your brand. Like I think for e-commerce companies, what I've seen is that the community aspect is really important. So whether that's on social or how you engage with your customers post-purchase, it's really important to keep a community where, you know, you're responding and you have a conversation back and forth with them. So as I mentioned, the integrations are a really important part of Gorgias. I think, again, like the evolution of when I first worked at Yotpo to now, the number of different tools that D2C brands are using has exponentially grown. So, you know, there's reviews, but there's SMS channels like Attentive or Postscript, Recharge, where, you know, you're focusing on subscriptions. So it's really important to take all of these different channels and put them into one place, so that when you're responding to your customers, you have a holistic view of where they've spoken to you. You know, are they engaging with you on Facebook and email? Is it one channel specific? Just having all of that information in one spot has been super effective. In terms of some of our integrations, one that I find really exciting is the Recharge integration, because we're actually able to, you know, any of the actions you would do within Recharge, you're able to do them in Gorgias. So, you know, if that's like canceling an order or adding a subscription earlier, you have the ability to do that within the platform. And so by taking these integrations, again, you have a much more unified view of your customers, so that when you are responding to them or proactively reaching out, it can be really in line with the conversation history and who this person is. So in terms of customer support, when I first started, I really assumed customer support meant, looks like this slide is not fully working, but I can go with it anyway. But yeah, when I first started, I primarily thought customer support was always going to be, you know, issues. So like, where is my order, or this item's broken. And while that is one aspect of Gorgias and how we help, there's also the ability to help with post-purchase upsells. So, you know, something that we've seen is if someone's saying, hey, I ordered these jeans, but I'm curious about them in white, like, do you have any sales coming up soon? I've certainly emailed customer support after I really liked a brand to see if any sales were going to come on soon. And being able to proactively respond with a templated response. Again, maybe it tags their tracking number. We love that you're a customer. You know, here's the tracking number for your upcoming pair of jeans. And also, yeah, we love the white ones too. Here's a 10% off code. So proactively thinking about ways to drive sales through automation. And again, like through the content and what your customer is actually reaching out to you about. Another important part would be for any of those really common questions, again, being able to set up automation so that you as the merchant or any customer support agent isn't having to go in every time and actually respond to those inquiries. So I would say like the most common question that I'm seeing, and I'd be curious to hear from you guys to learn a little bit about what questions you're seeing come up frequently, but where is my order is definitely probably the one we see most often. And again, with some of the shipping delays right now, it's even more important to stay on top of that. Even recently, I ordered from a brand and they proactively emailed me with the shipping label saying that they'd created the label, but things were a bit delayed, but like, not to worry, my order was still on the way. And that was a really reassuring message because, yeah, I ordered a few weeks ago. I was a little bit frustrated. And again, it was nice to just see that response come in without me even having to proactively reach out to the brand. In this actual scenario, you know, you would be reaching out. This would be a scenario where a customer is actually reaching out, where is my order? And so, you know, with Gorgias, we can set up these rules where essentially if these different things happen in line, so again, like contains shipping or status, this last order was less than 15 days ago, and you could align that with your brand and customize it. And the fulfillment the fulfillment shipment status is in transit, it would actually reply to the ticket here and close out the ticket. So in this scenario, you wouldn't even have to come in and respond. If it hit these different parts of the rule, then it could auto respond and close out the ticket. So at Gorgias, we aim to automate about 15 to 20% of the different tickets and inquiries you're getting. Again, just a great way to help save time and so that you can focus on some of those other aspects when it comes to customer support. In terms of some of the other, integrations and channels that we're seeing, so chat is also an important one. And there's a few different ways that chat campaigns can help out. Maybe it is going to be really specific to a product, or it wants to just be like an overall reminder of, hey, we're available if you need to chat. Again, because in-store shopping is not really existing as it did in the past, finding a way to almost create like a virtual shopping assistant. So that's a great mechanism we have here. I know recently my sister was buying a Christmas tree online, which if you think about, kind of a weird purchase to buy online, like usually you want to go see the tree and like talk to them about, how do you transport it to your house, etc. And there actually was a gorgeous chat campaign on the page that, gave some specifications of if your apartment, is like X height, etc. This is what we'd recommend. Like here, if you want to chat. So she used the chat campaign and ended up purchasing from them. But again, it's another example of how you can really use this to be proactive with maybe any like objection that your customer may have or like hesitancy to actually make that purchase. So I would definitely be curious to learn from the viewers with these two scenarios, whether it's like automating responses or chat campaigns, like how you're thinking about that today and what would make things a bit easier. That's definitely something I'm curious about.
Yeah, so let's answer that because we already had one response from our crowd, from Yoni, and he said some of the questions that are most frequently is where is my shipping, what is my tracking number, or how can I replace the product. Of course, we would like to hear from you, Yoni, whether you are using the chat live to do that, a phone call, WhatsApp, or whatever. And that's about it. But yeah, we'd like to have an answer for that as well, or show Yoni a bit of the automations in which Gorgias can help not only by live chat, but also the other integrations that we have. And how can we do some automated answers using the FAQ, the help center, Facebook, and all the things that you showed me back then. By the way, Yoni mentioned that he's getting some emails in his site, WhatsApp, and chat for your question.
Okay, great. Would it be helpful for me to show some examples for this within the platform? I can take a quick pause from the presentation, or I can just, that may be a little bit easier, but it's up to the viewers what would be best.
Yeah, I think that if the presentation contains some visual examples, so great. And if not, we'll just, I see that it is. So let's continue with the presentation and see some real examples as well, of course.
Okay, great. Yeah, so thank you for participating here, Yoni. I think that's really important. In terms of the part about where is my order and some of those common questions. So yeah, exactly what you had mentioned. Those are the common questions we're seeing on the Gorgias side. So good to know you're not alone and that, again, a lot of our data and automations are tracking in the right trend of various merchants. So a few different things. One, again, we can help set up rules. So with Gorgias, all of these rules come with the platform, as well as what we call macros. And macros are these canned responses. So, in this example, we can see here that with this rule, it would auto respond with this templated email, which is our macro. And anytime that this would happen, it would actually auto-populate with all of the Shopify data. So whether it's the address, the shipping date, the customer name, it's all going to track within the Shopify data. And there's a two-way sync with Shopify. So that's actually how we help automate about 15 to 20%, is taking some of those really common questions and creating either auto responses or the ability to use our templated responses and just super quickly respond there. Right now, we don't have an integration with WhatsApp. It should be in the product roadmap in the next few quarters, but that's still something that we're actively discussing. So that's a little bit on how we can help with the automation in terms of those really common questions. And again, if anyone's more interested in learning some of the nitty-gritties, I can definitely set aside time to actually show you the platform. I always find that to be really helpful. In terms of the question around integration, so we have quite a few integrations. One, we have integrations with around 30 of the top D2C Shopify app partners. So ones like Yotpo, Attentive, Postscript, some of those I mentioned, Klaviyo. So everything you would need for email, phone, chat, and SMS. And then I think the other really cool part of Gorgias and what really distinguishes us from some of the others is our ability to help with content moderation on social media. So whether that's Facebook ads, Instagram ads, or Facebook Messenger, again, like a really important part of building an e-commerce business, as I'm sure you're aware, is building that online community and brand. So having these customers or potential customers engage with your brand on social is really important. And there's also a really big opportunity to respond to your customers there. Like they're expecting you to engage and communicate with them. That can also be a really daunting task. If you're running successful Facebook ads and getting a lot of commentary, engaging with those can take quite a bit of time. So, what we aim to help with is automating some of those responses. So with our AI, we can actually track the social sentiment and figuring out, how to actually respond to them. Is this a question that they're asking about sizing? So again, having a templated response there. Maybe they're replying to your Facebook ad with like a bunch of hearts. Okay, so maybe that means they're excited about your brand and are thinking about purchasing something. Let's send them one of those templated responses with a 10% off promo code.
Let me stop you for only a minute. One of the questions that came about this cool feature that you'll explain even further in a moment is whether Gorgias is more of a CRM nowadays than only customer service, because people see it as a more sophisticated, cool, but flex solution. It means that on the one hand, you can do many automated things, and on the other hand, you can track campaigns in Facebook, email marketing, SMS, chat live, and much more. So maybe we'll speak about Gorgias as a CRM, or whether it's a CRM, and then how we can track leads and see how we can auto-respond or just prioritize who should we speak first.
Definitely. So that's an interesting question. I have not heard us described as a CRM. I will say, though, that I think our aim is to give the ability to unify all of your different channels and any customer questions or experiences within Gorgias. So again, as Trent has alluded, like being able to automate and work on some of those repetitive tasks on email, social, chat, etc., and just having a more holistic view of your customers. So that is kind of what I would say there. I'll have to check with my team to see what their thoughts are on. I mean, it's definitely a compliment, us being geared as a CRM, but again, I do want to level set expectations there as well. But yeah, and great leading point into, again, how are we helping with some of those upsell opportunities within the different channels? So here's a great example where, it looks like Megan is tagging her friend Jessica on a product page within a Facebook ad campaign. And personally, I always do this as kind of a hint to my friends and family members of what I want for my birthday or Christmas. I'll say it works some of the time. I've seen more success than than nothing. So this is definitely something I do a lot. I'm tagging my friends. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Or they just launched this new color. I'm so excited to try it. And so here's an example where it says author right here of how we're actually helping automate the response here. So here's one of our canned templated responses where it would pull in the first name and then it would give this promo code. So again, yeah, you totally need this. Here's the 10% off. Let me know if you have any questions. A really cool aspect of this. So again, this template, it comes with the platform. So it's super easy to just go in, respond to the people here. The other thing is if you have, you're getting a lot of engagement on these Facebook ads, we've also seen clients say, well, I don't want to give everyone access to this 10% off code. And so you have the ability to reply within Facebook Messenger to this person. So maybe you just reply, you like the comment, and then you reply within Facebook Messenger and privately give them that promo code. So you have the ability to customize what you're responding to the customer, but two, how you're doing it in a way that's really seamless and quick so that instead of manually going through all of these, it's more of almost a copy and paste that you're working through. In terms of some of the other ways we're helping, so I was chatting about this earlier, some of our AI and machine learning. So not only are we going to give you the ability to look through, Facebook comments, Instagram comments, but we're also going to be able to track, is this a social lead, a negative comment, or a social question? So social lead would be similar to back here, like tagging a friend, any heart emoji. Negative question, it's going to be able to track if someone's saying this sucks or I never got my order. So there will be a folder within your Gorgias platform where all of those tickets would populate there. Social question.
Sorry. Here's a quick one. Some of the Israelis that see products that are drop shipped and they are truly mad about it. Like saying, "Oh, I saw it in AliExpress. Why are you drop shipping that?" or something like that. How would you react to such a reaction about drop shipping?
Yeah, so I mean, I think a few things. One, you're always going to get sometimes the customer is going to be really challenging, and even if it's just explaining the process of something, I think can be helpful in those scenarios. And again, maybe you apply to them offline of the comment and hide the comment from social because it's not really going to be helping your brand or for SEO reasons. So an example I have is some of the clients I work with, they do, they're actually vegan rugs, but they'll get really angry inquiries about them saying I noticed you're not following this process, or is this actually vegan? It says cow within the name. So being able to just respond, explain things, your thought process, how it operates, and just kind of setting that transparent expectation. That's been, I think, helpful, because sometimes these people just don't know the full story. And so giving them more of an idea of what's actually going on, I think, could be helpful.
Cool, please go ahead.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, again, SMS, another channel, and some of my little visuals are not pinging here, so I apologize for that. But another just great example of how with SMS, we can work more on some of those actual upsells and being able to move forward with someone to purchase again. So it's not simply that we're helping just help like with customer support, but thinking about, well, how do we be strategic and thoughtful with the way we're communicating with our customers that can also help encourage them to become a repeat customer. Again, just more of an example of like being able to train your support team to help on social with these automations. So you can see here on the right, here's some examples of the different macros, whether it would be helping with a replacement of an upsell, or some of these different upsells like style downgrades. So being able to use those automated responses to support some of these different people on social. So again, it's really about bringing the tickets together into one place, but also for some people who maybe don't have as much experience communicating with their customers on these different channels, like we can help set it up really easily. And then I think, you know, the other part that is really important when thinking about customer support is measuring and tracking success, right? So understanding like what is the resolution time, what is the different conversion rate based on the channels, what's the first response time, and if you have multiple support agents, being able to look and assess like what their performance is to understand maybe where some of the areas for improvement, or like how can you better coach or align with someone. So giving the analytics the opportunity to just help you improve when you're thinking about processes and time management. And so I think, you know, if it's Gorgias or elsewhere, that's a really important part, is then also, you know, these features are really exciting, but seeing them in practice and what are the actual results that you're able to see through automating and integrating some of these different channels within one place. So yeah, I feel like I've already pretty much introduced ourselves and given you guys quite a bit of an overview, but we went from around 2,000 to 5,000 brands within the last year. And we really are the #1 help desk for Shopify, Magento, and BigCommerce. So being able to integrate all of your Shopify variables, whether you want to order, cancel, duplicate, any of those like things you would do in Shopify, being able to do that within Gorgias with a really seamless integration, and just thinking about those automations, right? So like, how are we able to help with automating about 15 to 20% of those responses for common questions, so that you have time to dedicate to upselling clients and just focusing on other parts of the business. But thank you guys so much for letting me come today and tell you a little bit more about Gorgias and just where customer service and support has evolved. Again, this is my email, and if you have any other questions or are interested in learning more, I would definitely love to connect.
And first of all, it was amazing, but I have a couple of questions as well that are quite tricky. First of all, we haven't speak about pricing, and some of the clients or some of the store owners are doubting between a free app in customer service or just pay for a good one. So I heard you saying that it saves you time when it comes to automations, but what would you say for someone that is saying, okay, I'm not sure what kind of solution I want, whether it's Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, or just one of the Shopify's free app, what would you say?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So A few things. I mean, one, I think doing your research and getting just a better understanding of like your ticket volume and what you're focusing on. Also, like I worked at a few different of these companies. What I've always found to be helpful is just seeing a demo for these different companies. So I would suggest for anyone who's looking at a few different options, like do your research, learn from each of them, like get an opportunity to see a visual presentation so you can just understand what would be best for your business. In terms of the pricing, so our pricing actually is on our website. I did just want to share my screen for that because I think really awesome. It's the first tech company I've worked at where we have pricing online, but it goes back to our core value of transparency, whether it's with our customers or internally. So here's some of the different pricing options that we have. And again, like all of them, you're going to have the ability to have the integrations, macros, and rules. The difference is really going to be on the amount of support you're receiving from the Gorgias end. And also it's about the actual number of tickets that you're seeing. So at Gorgias, we bill based on tickets, which is anytime you're responding. So if someone spams you like 8 times, you're not going to be charged for that. It's just anytime you actually send a response. And so, based on the tickets, that would kind of fall into what pricing you're in.
Sorry. Okay, amazing. So I would like to say to the audience that I'm using Gorgias myself, by the way, and if you would like to see it live, you can always message me at Zisu Themes, which is our mini site for the themes that we built, both the Hebrew theme and the POD theme, for those of you that haven't noticed that so far. But another thing that you've mentioned is that you have like a live example that you would like to share with us. So maybe we'll take a couple of minutes just to see it live.
Yeah, definitely. I'm happy to share my screen and to show you a bit more. And the other thing I'll say for pricing is if you're interested in moving forward, definitely message me and I can give you the 2nd month free. So that's a nice little perk that we can work together on. Okay, let me.
Of course, we'll mention, by the way, that at the end of our live, we'll share with you a link that you'd be able to register from and get a perk, I guess, from this thing, right, Julia?
Definitely.
Okay, no problem. So everyone, by the way, by the moment that Julia is presenting us the live example, if you have any question, just comment, and you can do it also in Hebrew. יכולים לכתוב תגובות. And we would like to ask Julia and translate it if needed also in Hebrew. So let's go.
Yeah, so just really quickly, I'll just go through a couple things because I know but again, the integrations, like here's a list of all of the majority of the integrations we can help with. And it's really easy to just kind of turn on and off so that you're able to do some of these actions within Gorgias. So again, that's really helpful. And what I wanted to show you was, so when we get to tickets, here's the different views we have around tickets. So, urgent, VIP, damaged returns. Again, those are using our automations and rules. So if let's say somebody's purchased with you 5+ times, or in this order, they spend over $500, we can work together on the actual rules themselves, but it would populate within this part of the platform. So you would know right away to maybe first start and spend some of your time here. In terms of the Shopify integration, so I know that this is something I alluded to, but it really is powerful. So if we went into this ticket, you can see the customer name, all that they've ever spent on for your store in Shopify, all their different orders, and you actually have the ability within our platform to refund, cancel or duplicate orders. And this has a two-way sync with Shopify. So once this is complete, it will sync on Shopify's end. You don't have to do anything else. Some of those different macros that we kind of discussed, they're all here within the platform. So again, one of the most common ones, where is my order? You saw this on the presentation, but here's all of the different Shopify variables. And if I were to just hit this, it would sync with all the Shopify data, you know, hey, Erica, here's your order, here's the order number, the status, etc. So it's really powerful to just, I think, see in action how we actually do that, and can really help with some of those automations, so that, you know, you're spending your time in a really strategic and thoughtful way.
Let me get back again. Oh, amazing. Okay, so we had another comment from Daniel about official jingle or something. Not sure what did you mean, Daniel. So if you would like to comment, we would love to understand better. Actually, it's time for questions, for a quick Q&A. So if anyone has any question at all, comment, like, and of course, I'd like to mention that by the time that you are commenting, that this live is also broadcast in our YouTube channel, so you can look for Zisu Ltd in YouTube as well, and it will be saved both in here in this community and as well as in YouTube, so you'd be able to see our playlist of live events. And if you missed any of them, like the last one last week with Pioneer and others, you're more than welcome to watch Julie and me, and also the others as well. As I see that there are no other comments, so I'll ask you, Julia, to just tag yourself in the post itself. So if anyone would like to directly message you or have a quick demo or anything, they would be able to do so. And I would like to thank you as well for the time and for the great presentation, guys. I really recommend on Gorgias, and you must try it.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Chen, for having me. It appears like it's not letting me comment, but I would say the best way to get in touch with me is my email. So again, it's, maybe you can post it in the chat, Chen, if that's possible, just julia.waltler@Gorgias. But yeah, obviously Chen has been a great partner of ours, and we're excited to continue to work together. And hopefully that answered some questions just around customer support and where we see it evolving with automations and integrations. And yeah, I would love to take, you know, any questions, or if anyone wants to see more of the platform, I'm definitely here as a resource.
No problem. So thank you very much once again, Julia. I'm tagging you and your email, so people would be able to follow and come and talk to you directly. Have a great day, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.